Hey everyone, how are we doing? My name is Tim Pongres and this is Focus on Detailing. What's going to be happening in this video is me answering all of your questions from my Q&A prep video. I believe I've let it dwell for well and truly long enough to accumulate a few questions, and now they're all set to be answered. First of all, I apologise if I pronounce your names incorrectly, but here we go. So the first question is from Ken Lawton. Whilst I'm loving Bowdens products, well the few that I have, I find it unusual that they advocate using a carnauba wax as a base coat with a spray sealant or afterglow over the top to seal the wax. That is completely arse about to any other system known to man. Lol. That wax on a hot day is surely going to melt underneath the sealant. Not bagging on Bowdens, I love afterglow and I've tried fully slick. Nowhere near as good as Maguire's Last Touch Detailer or as slick as the Synthetics Express Spray Wax in my honest opinion. Okay. But actually think they have it backwards. They need a synthetic paste sealant or liquid in their lineup. One their carnauba wax can go over as a sacrificial layer. Thoughts? So it was explained to me that Bowdens' own spray sealants are all water-based, which means they're safe to be laid over the initial layer of wax that you've put over the car and won't get rid of it like a lot of the oil-based silicone sealants will. So what they're achieving here is protecting that wax and all of its paint enhancing abilities, adding gloss, depth and shine, as well as the paint itself. So once they feel up the sealant that's protecting the wax over the paint is running thin, they'll then add another layer of that spray sealant. I'm not a chemical engineer, I don't know how they all work in that regard. All I know is that they work and they work well. That's the way they've gone about it, the sealant over the wax than the usual other way around. Obviously, it works for them, and a lot of other people, including myself, are happy with the results. Now, in terms of your other part of the question, when you've asked should Bowdens' own include a paste sealant in their lineup, I 100% concur. I agree with what you're saying. I believe that they should. I don't know where they're at. I believe they've just released a new product called Meltdown, I think, and it helps get rid of the ice over your windscreen. Hopefully along the way, I'd like to see maybe some correcting products with a compound and a polish come out, as well as a liquid or paste sealant. The next question comes from Radioactive X. I've tried Bowdens' own Auto Gel, Little Ripper and Clay Bar, but I was new to detailing when I was using them. I didn't find their products good enough for my liking and they are a bit overpriced. The Clay Bar is nice though. I'm now using Chemical Guy's drying towel. That's more of a statement than a question, but if you're wanting my personal opinion on Bowdens' own products, I can tell you that I've taken a real liking to them. They're safe, easy to use, and they live up to what they say they can do. And no, I'm not paid to say that. The other part of your question, saying that they're overpriced, I don't believe that's the case. Once you take into consideration that you don't need to worry about shipping costs here in Australia, you can just get them over the counter, and that's the other thing. It's also good to know that you're supporting an Aussie product line. The next question is from Danny D. Have you ever used Scholl S20 on a car, and what do you think about waterless rinse? I have indeed used S20 before on a car. In fact, I've made a video about it, one of my previous ones, on a white Caprice. I used my ShineMate dual action polisher with an orange pad, and it managed to remove, I'd say, moderate to even some heavy paint defects. I was very happy with the results. It made minimal dusting and was easy to clean up, as it states on the bottle. When you're asking about a waterless rinse, I don't know if you're referring to a waterless wash or a rinseless wash. Now, I don't have much experience with either, and I didn't even know there was a difference between the two. So I'm in the same boat as you, so I can't give much of an opinion about them, so I apologise. I'm used to my usual go-to, which is the hands-free wash with the 2-bucket method. But I 100% see where people are coming from when they want to go to a rinseless wash or a waterless wash method with the water restrictions, or if you're a mobile detailer and are restricted just in general with water usage. I can link a video in the description of this video to a guy that's made a video showing the pros and the cons of both a rinseless and waterless wash, so I hope that benefits you in some way. I'm sorry that I can't give you a more direct answer. The next question is from SilverScreen62. Hey Tim, just would like to know where you buy your cleaning products etc. from. Thoroughly enjoying your videos and picking up some very handy hints along the way. Take care, buddy. Thank you, and I'm glad you're enjoying my videos. A lot of my stuff I get from a site called waxit.com. That includes wash mitts, microfiber towels, wheel woolies, brushes, basically almost everything. I'll put the link in the description. But for stuff that I go through quite quickly, like car wash, snow foam, and all-purpose cleaners, I'll get from over the counter from places like Super Cheap Auto, Autobarn, and Repco. The next question is from Blake Emerson. My question is related to your engine bay detailing video on your Ford Falcon Ute. Was the motor fine after having water on it, and did you have to cover up the alternator to stop water getting on it? Or is it fine for some water to get on it? Because I have a Ford Falcon FG and want to detail my engine bay without having to worry about anything going wrong with the motor afterwards. Thanks. My engine was absolutely fine once I had finished cleaning it. There was no worries whatsoever. From memory, I don't believe I did cover up the alternator, although I didn't spray it directly. All I did was cover up the electricals with plastic bags. And if you're ever unsure of anything in your engine bay, just cover it with the plastic bag. It's easy enough once you've finished to take it out and then clean it in that general area where you've covered. The water that you're putting in there doesn't really do that much. All it does for me is to rinse off the product that you've used, or the degreaser, so there's no residue left prior to drying. I forgot to include in that part of the video that the rinsing is also to get the initial layer of dust over the engine all off, and also helps to spread out the degreaser more evenly and basically get more use out of it. The next question is from Mick Arthur. My question is related to swirls. I've done what seems to be every step in trying to restore my paint, but I still can't seem to remove the swirls. I've gone over it with a clay bar, then polished it with Autoglym Super Resin Polish, and then used their HD wax to try to seal it. I even used their more aggressive paint renovator on hazing and etchings. Still wouldn't fix my problems with the swirls. Is this due to not using a machine and doing it by hand? Autoglym recommended doing it by hand, so that confused me. Do I need to cut my car with a buff? Sorry for the long question, but cheers. So you're on the right track here, starting with the clay bar to prep the surface, and then going with, first of all, a light correcting method and then working your way up. Although I'm not too familiar with Autoglym's compounds and polishes, I would usually go to Meguiar's Ultimate Compound and Ultimate Polish. And that's what I'm going to recommend here. They're easy to get to over the shelf and don't cost that much. Just try them in an inconspicuous area to start with of your car, and shine a torch over an area that you've done and haven't done, and see if you're removing a lot of the defects, and if you're happy with the results, you can then move over to the rest of the car. I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there that are going to recommend so many other compounds and polishes, and there are so many other good ones out there. But and it all depends on the thickness of your paint, the cut that you're after, how soft or hard the paint is, but just try these to begin with, see if you're happy with the results. You don't need a machine polisher, although it does make the task a whole lot easier. You've got a range of pads that you can use for specific jobs and specific products, and it's more than likely it'll enable you to achieve a better result. But if you're comfortable and it works for you just doing it by hand, I suggest just doing that. You can still achieve great results. The next question is from Vay74 Detailer/Barber. Thanks for the opportunity. What's your thoughts on applying a silicone tire shine to exterior plastic trims? Why I ask is it seems to stay on longer, shinier than non-silicone, but not sure if it's good for it. In all honesty, I'm not too sure of the side effects from applying a silicone tire shine to exterior plastics. It could make the plastic surface very staticky, and things like dust and that could stick to it and in the end look quite unsightly. Although I could be wrong, there could be products out there that could repel the dust. Although there are other products out there such as CarPro Pearl and Aerospace 303 that can not only be used on the tyres, it can be used on the exterior plastic trims as well as the interior. I suggest giving them a go as they also last for a fair while. The next question is from Fei Tang 2. What's the shower attachment you use to rinse with? I haven't seen that kind of spray attachment before. Good work on the video, keep it up mate. I actually get this question quite a lot. Where do I get that attachment from that I use on my garden hose when I'm detailing? It's got a great spray range and does a fantastic job of removing all of that soap when I'm rinsing down the car. I didn't get it from any detailing site and I didn't get it from any detailing store. I actually got it from Bunnings here in Mildura, but I unfortunately haven't seen one since, but I'm pretty sure you'd be able to find something pretty close to it. Mark Hunter is asking, I've seen products pop up on Facebook that you can coat your car in and mud will not stick to it. Can you enlighten me of the product price and availability? I have actually seen that video floating around Facebook before, although unfortunately I can't remember the name of it. Although there are many other products out there that can achieve the same if not better results, attaining a very hydrophobic surface, lasting a long time and looking fantastic. You have your waxes and sealants, which are a common go-to, or you can step up into your more higher end products, which are commonly ceramic coatings. Although they are expensive, and you probably should get a professional detailer to apply them, as your painted surface should be free of defects and properly prepped before having it done to get the most out of the coating. The very last question is from Tom M. Hey Tim, what's your go-to brand for detailing? That is actually a pretty tricky question, as I have many go-to brands when it comes to detailing. Some work better than others and it just depends on the job at hand. I have my preferences. I like Bowdens Zone, I like Autoglim, I like Ammo NYC, I like CarPro, and I like Maguire's. I could go on and on. Honestly, I reckon you'd be shooting yourself in the foot if you have one product that you go to and one product alone. It's good to have a massive range and a massive detailing armory ready and at your disposal. That's it for this video. Thank you all so much for your questions. I hope you got the answers that you were seeking. Don't forget to check out some of my other uploads. Thank you for watching this one, and I'll catch you all later.